Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's that time of the week again. It's time for me to predict the Premier League matches for this weekend. Yeah, this is my Premier League Matchday 11 prediction video. Another exciting week. No Friday Night Football this time. This is going to be posted Saturday morning. Back to normal Premier League. I prefer it like this with Monday Night Football. I'm not really a fan of Friday Night Football. Going to be exciting. We've got a Newcastle-Arsenal really good matchup. Got Poch back against Spurs for the first time, I think, since he was last there. I don't know whether he played against Spurs at PSG. I'm not too sure. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out because Spurs obviously doing very well. Chelsea aren't doing too well, but familiar face may change the whole scenario. You never know. But let's just get straight into it. We'll start off with the 12:30 kickoff. Fulham versus Manchester United. So, what a way to start this weekend. Two mid-table teams. Simply, this is a must-win for Man United. 2 3-0 losses in a row. Everything seems to be falling apart. We're getting leaks about the players being unhappy, leaks from the dressing room, Ten Hag having to explain how he plays his football in a press conference. Desperate times. We're falling apart right now. And no match has ever been more important. This is so important for Ten Hag because I think if he gets battered again today, I don't know how much patience the board have got, but considering how many managers we've sacked in the previous 10 years, I don't think they'll have any patience whatsoever. It just seems like all the players are down tools. They're just playing for themselves. I see a lot of players just shooting from miles out a lot of the time, just going to show that they're just trying to make their goal tally look good or score a good goal to put on their Instagram or something like that. And this was the problem for all the previous managers as well. This is how they got the sack. The players just didn't perform anymore, and yeah. But I think this will be a draw, considering how bad United have been. I can't give them the win here. Fulham aren't great either. They did pick up a great point against Brighton last week. So who knows? United could turn up. United have the ability to turn up and absolutely destroy this Fulham team 5-0. But it's not going to happen. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Then we go into the first 3 o'clock kickoff, Brentford versus West Ham. I'm going to go for another score draw here. West Ham lost last week in the league against Everton, which was quite poor. I expected them to win that. They lost against, I think, maybe Olympiacos. I don't know, not for sure, in the Europa League as well, just before that. But then they picked up a great win against Arsenal in the Carabao Cup, beating Rice on his return to the London Stadium. A great 3-1 win. They were superb. And then Brentford last week beat Chelsea 2-0 at Stamford Bridge when Chelsea were looking good. So that's a great result for them as well. I just can't pick a winner. I think it's difficult to separate the two sides. They're both in decent form, so it would be harsh for me to pick one winner. If I were going to go for one, I'd probably go for a Brentford home win just because they're at home. Even though they're not too good at home, I still think the home advantage would help. But I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw again. Then we go into Burnley versus Crystal Palace. Simply a must-win for Burnley. They've had such an awful start, really underperforming compared to how people predicted them to perform. Again, I don't see them picking up any points. I don't think Kompany's got too much time left. He's on thin ice. Burnley fans are getting impatient. I see it all over the social media. They want him gone. And let's be real, they really need points. They're going to bring someone in. They're going to need to bring someone in, maybe like a Sean Dyche. They won't bring him in, obviously, but someone like that to try and snatch a few points, because at this rate, they're going to get relegated. Palace are in decent form. They only just lost to Spurs last week. They actually were very good, limited the amount of chances Spurs actually created. Spurs scored 2 goals, but only had 1 shot on target because one of them's an own goal. But I'm going to go for a 1-0 Palace win here. Then we've got Everton versus Brighton, a difficult one to predict. Both teams are in good form. Everton are in great form considering how I thought they were going to perform this season. Whenever I don't back them, they seem to win. Brighton obviously have a superior side, probably superior manager as well. Yeah, definitely superior manager. I love Sean Dyche, but De Zerbi is a different grade. He's a great manager. They're obviously higher up in the table. They've got a better calibre of players. But Brighton did drop points against Fulham last week. And for some reason, I do think Everton are going to surprise people here. I think they're going to win 1-0. I think they're going to pull a result out of the bag. I think Sean Dyche is doing a remarkable job after a shaky start. I thought it was destined for them to go down. They hadn't scored a goal in 3 matches. But yeah, I'm going to go for an Everton 1-0 win against Brighton. Then we go into Man City versus Bournemouth. This is only going to go one way. Man City are going to absolutely smash them. Simple as that. Bournemouth did pick up their first win last week. It's good for them, but they lost in the cup in the midweek, so it's not like they've got the previous game to run off. Obviously, Man City are they're just ridiculously strong. They've had a rest because they weren't in the cup because Newcastle knocked them out in the 3rd round. Yeah, they're going to be ready. They're going to score lots of goals, so I've gone for a 5-0 Man City win. It could be more, could be less. but I reckon this is a fair score line to go for. So Man City 5, Bournemouth 0. Then we go into Sheffield United versus Wolves. Wolves are doing great this season, scoring a lot more than I expected them to do. They're doing a lot better than people have predicted. I think that's due to the fact that they've got a great manager. I think he's a great, I think he's great. I'm 95% sure that they'll win this. Obviously, I'm not 100%. You never know in football. But I'm going to go for a 3-1 Wolves win. I reckon Hwang Hee-chan will maybe pick up a couple of goals. He's in superb form this season. He's scoring the goals for Wolves, which he hadn't really been doing in the previous years. It's promising times as a Wolves fan. They've got a great manager and they've got something to build on. 3-1 Wolves win. Then we go into the big match, Newcastle versus Arsenal. This is going to be one of the best matches of the season, I think. Any match at St James's Park, it doesn't disappoint. This is two great teams, one of them being unbeaten. Obviously, Arsenal are unbeaten. St James's Park has been a fortress so far this season. They've beaten City there, they've beaten PSG there. Newcastle have just beaten Man United 3-0 as well at Old Trafford. This is going to be such a good match. Two very, very high quality teams, and I think they're going to go toe to toe. Arsenal are currently unbeaten, as I said, but I think this will be the match that they lose. I think Newcastle away is probably the hardest fixture in the league, maybe. One of the hardest fixtures in the league. Arsenal also just got knocked out of the cup, played terribly. It's not great for them. They performed very poorly. So I'm going to go for a Newcastle 3-2 win. It's going to be a high-scoring, great match to watch as a neutral. Newcastle 3, Arsenal 2. Then we go into the first Sunday game, Forest versus Villa. Villa are in the form of their lives. Unai Emery has turned them into such a strong force. I think they'll continue to win. They're performing so well. Forest aren't really doing great. I feel like they're kind of the team that everyone forgets are actually in the league. Off the top of my head, I wouldn't know where they are in the table, and I can't actually remember who they played last week. No, it wasn't Luton, because Villa played Luton. I couldn't say where they're in the table. I think Villa are way stronger. I think they're going to continue to win. I haven't really got much to say about this. Villa are just in great form. I'm going to go for a 3-1 Villa win. They did win away from home in the Conference League as well, so they've shown it's not just their home form, which is good. 3-1 Villa win. Then into the 4:30 kickoff, Luton versus Liverpool. Now this is one of the matches that this could go either way. And obviously we're going to predict Liverpool to win. I'm going to predict Liverpool to win. But it could be one of those ones where Liverpool absolutely dominate and then win like 4 or 5-0. Or they lose narrowly 1-0 and Luton score like a jammy penalty or something like that. These are the games that Luton need to make a big struggle for their opponents, because these are the bigger teams. They're not so used to playing in these tricky, smaller grounds with not too many fans as well. Conditions aren't as elite compared to the other 19 teams. Well, Bournemouth isn't that good, but compared to the other 19 teams, this is the smallest. But I do think Liverpool will dominate. They're just in too good form for me to go against them, and I think it would be harsh for me to go against them. They're just way too strong. Team is looking perfect. Midfield's looking incredibly balanced. Defence looking back to normal. Alisson just doing his job. I think Liverpool are going to win 4-1. I think Luton might hold them out for a while, but as soon as Liverpool get that first goal, they're going to score loads. I think as soon as that first goal goes in, Luton won't be able to get back, and then Liverpool will just score loads of goals. So I'm going to go for a 4-1 Liverpool win. And then on to the very exciting Monday night football. We've got Spurs versus Chelsea. This is such a good Monday night football. I'm surprised this isn't the 4:30 game, to be honest. This is such high quality. It's giving me nostalgia of the previous meetings. I was remembering, obviously, Battle of the Bridge, the match when Hazard won Leicester the league. I was remembering that the other day. I was talking to a couple of my mates about it. This match always brings great entertainment. This year, Spurs are the heavy favourites, which is normally the other way around. Spurs are not normally heavy favourites when you come into this sort of fixture. But this season, they're in great form against big sides. They beat Liverpool 2-1, although it was controversial. They beat United 2-0. They drew with Arsenal at the Emirates. I think Chelsea will be up for this. They've reached the Carabao Cup quarters as well. Although they did only beat Blackburn, it's good for them to get to a quarter-final of a cup. And Chelsea need points because they're not playing very well. They just lost 2-0 to Brentford, which was really... I was not happy with that. I was disappointed with that one. But I think weighing all that up, I'm going to go for a 2-2 very exciting draw. It's going to be one of those very exciting matches. Proper Battle of the Bridge. Although it's not Battle of the Bridge, it's at the Spurs Stadium. Proper London derby, proper exciting. And I think Spurs will continue their unbeaten streak, but they won't grab the 3 points here. And those are my match day predictions for match day 11. Yeah, I don't think I've made this video as long as I normally do, but that doesn't really matter. I've got my predictions out there, and I've done it before the first match kicks off, which is always a good thing. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and make sure you tune in to the next one. Thank you.